Agile World. Please welcome to the stage, Presidential Diamond from Miami Beach, Florida, Randy Gage.
Oh, the Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss. Congratulations. Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You'll look up and down streets. Look them over with care. And some of you will say, I don't choose to go there. With your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down any not so good street. Now, I'd love to read you the whole book, but we don't have enough time tonight. I'll be picking someone and coming by your room later tonight, reading you the good night story. Wow, Craig got excited about that. So that was Dr. Seuss, one of the magical authors of all time. I don't think you'll find many 4 or 5-year-olds who don't love the Dr. Seuss books. Here's the fascinating thing for me. I didn't discover Dr. Seuss when I was 4 or 5. I discovered Dr. Seuss when I was 15. And you know why I discovered Dr. Seuss? Because my counselor at school said, you can't enunciate, nobody understands you, you don't speak clearly, you're always looking down at your feet, you're so nervous and you mumble, and this is why you're getting all these bad grades in school. This is why you don't have friends and you don't fit in, because you don't know how to enunciate. So we're going to send you to the speech therapist, because they thought my problem was enunciation. When you pronounce the words correctly and articulate so people understand the syllables. So I go to the speech therapist at 14 or 15 years old, and he teaches me tongue twisters from Dr. Seuss. So I'm probably the only 52-year-old man in the world who can say, when the Beatles fight these battles with their paddles in the puddle, and the puddle's in a bottle, and the bottle's on a poodle, and the poodle's eating noodles, this is what they call. Excuse me, Mrs. Sign Language, I don't think you kept up with that. I don't think all of the interpreters kept up with that either. So let's try that again. When the Beatles fight these battles with their paddles in the puddle, and the puddle's in the bottle, and the bottle's on a poodle, and the poodle's eating noodles, this is what they call. Now, here's what I want you to think about. What was the fairy tale that you grew up with? What was the story that was so special to you? Maybe it was Little Red Riding Hood. Maybe it was Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Whatever it was, but think about the time when you had somebody who read you those stories and you first learned to read yourself. and you read those stories and you believed those stories. Because belief is a funny thing. Because when we believe things, they seem to come true. And when we don't believe things, they seem not to work out, don't they? And I want us to explore this whole concept, which is our theme all this weekend. You've heard everybody, Craig and Jeremiah and Kyle and everybody up here has been talking about this one very special word, the word of the weekend, believe. I wrote a blog post about it the other day as I was kind of preparing my thoughts for this speech. I've been thinking about this for a couple of months, what I wanted to share on this special night that I had a little bit of time to spend with you. And so I wrote about the amazing power that belief has upon us. Think about somebody who joins Agile and they believe. They believe that this is magical. They believe these products are amazing. They believe this compensation plan is bulletproof. They believe the corporate team we have and the field leadership we have, the people behind this company are so amazing. They go out and they qualify for President's Club in 5 days. Think about Mexico. Think about this. You got Daphne and Alberto, 2 ballroom dance instructors, didn't even know how to spell MLM. Their friend called Alberto, and he called Daphne. He said, there's some business about M&Ms. He thought it was the candy. They'd never been in the business. And they saw that presentation, and they believed. And along the way, Sarah and Jaime, Hermanos, Garduño, Paula, these guys, right? They believed. And all of a sudden, we were doing $3 million a month in Mexico by a bunch of people who had never been in network marketing, no experience whatsoever, because they believed. And we have seen that in market after market after market. Somebody comes in, no experience, no training. They don't know how the compensation plan works. They don't really understand gel matrix technology, but they believe in the mission. They believe in what we do. They believe in Agile Cares. And they get excited. They get passionate. 5 days, they're President's Club. Somebody else comes in, and they believe it's hard. They believe people are conservative. People might think it's a pyramid. The products are too expensive. The city I live in is too big. The town I live in is too small. The people I know they don't have money. They have a negative belief, and they create a negative result based upon their belief, just like the people with positive belief create the positive result with their belief. So it's funny, I wrote that blog. A guy got on the blog and wrote, well, Randy, come on, what are you talking about? You think it's so easy, like believe. It's a fact. People are skeptical. It's hard to sponsor people. If you don't believe me, invite 100 people to your house and see how many show up. It's hard. And you know what? Because he believes that, it's true. I'd love to help him. I'd love to show him how to break through. But you know what? Until he believes, there's nothing you or I can teach him. Now, I joined Agile, and I had a different belief. I had a belief that said, these products are the sexiest products that have been developed in network marketing in the last 15 years. This compensation plan is the most brilliant, innovative compensation plan that's ever been done in 60 years. This is a plan that rewards the proper behavior, that causes people to go down and work in depth and support their teams. This is a company with good people, with good values. This is an early opportunity. This is a chance to go out and create a legacy position. A position where you're locked in and you create that ongoing residual income that will set you up for life. And the first person I called was my sister and told her, sign up, we're going to get you locked up, because her husband was dying. And we said, we're going to create an annuity for your kids. We're going to set up this legacy position so they never have to worry about college. They never have to worry about a medical bill. We're going to set them up for life. And because I believed that, it was true. So the guy who believes it's difficult, you know what? He's right. And me who believe the world desperately needs what we have, I'm right too. So what do you believe? Let me take you back, if I can, to when I was 15 years old. And I was sitting in a jail cell. I'd been arrested for armed robbery. I'd been a teenage alcoholic, teenage drug addict, never went to school, took the wrong path, hung out with the wrong crowd, needed money for drugs. So I started burglarizing places and robbing places. And then I got arrested. And I was sitting in that jail cell thinking, my whole world was over. Because all of a sudden, this life choices I had been making didn't look so good anymore. And I heard some keys. It was a big metal door, and it had a little yellow a little window with the wire that goes through the glass, and there was a clock out in the hallway. So all day, every day, I just sat in that jail cell, and I looked through the window, watching the clock tick. So one day, there's those keys in the door, and it opens, and a man who I don't know walks in. A man named Baxter Richardson, who was a school teacher and the father of my best friend that I went to school with. He dated a girl, and he was the father of the girl that my friend David dated. And she had gone home and told her father, please go help Randy Gage out. He's in jail, he's in trouble, he's nowhere to turn, he needs help. Now Baxter didn't even know me. So he got some of my files from school because his daughter asked him to. And when those keys turned and the door opened, he was the one that walked in my jail cell. And he introduced himself, and he told me something that I still remember as vividly this moment as I do, what is that, 37 years ago or something? He said, you don't belong here. You are capable of great things. Wow. I don't belong here? I'm capable of great things? And I argued with him. No, you don't understand. I had drugs and alcohol and robbery, and I've had this horrible childhood. And he said, no, I looked at your records. You skipped school for 3 weeks, 4 weeks in a row sometimes.